Hi everyone, we are back on Islay for Fèis 2026. We are here at the stunning Islay Whisky Vault to taste our way through this year's festival bottlings. We've got distillery representatives and some independent Islay whisky personalities to join in the fun too. So make sure to stay tuned and see what's coming up. Hi there folks, welcome back to Bevvy's Fèis 2026 kind of overview. We're here at the Islay Whisky Vault once again with Rab McEachran from Bruichladdich. You are head of Islay experiences. Very, very excited to try these. Should we start with Port Charlotte? Obviously makes sense, kind of build up that smokiness.
Yep.
The label presentation, I had a quick glimpse before we started filming, and I was like, I'll be doing like a zombie theme this year, is it a Walking Dead type thing, but this is actually the main man. It's
the main man.
This is Adam, yeah.
I won't call him a zombie when I go back to the distillery. I've called him worse. So yeah, this is the PC5 Redux, as we're calling it. So this is revisiting PC5 as a product. So this is obviously the 25th anniversary of the reopening of the distillery. The first spirit that ran through the stills on the 29th of May 2001 was Port Charlotte, and 5 years later that became PC5, which was the first whisky that we ever released that we made post-Renaissance. Okay. So between 2000 and 2005, or 2001 and 2005, we'd created lots of whisky, but it was all using whisky and spirit made by our predecessors pre-2001. So this was the PC5 was the first time we were able to release a whisky that we made from inception. So looking back to that 25 years ago, it was a really nice opportunity to go back now and revisit that same style of product. And PC5 was super popular, super famous. It's now one of the most sought after Port Charlottes out there, and you can't get much of it out there in the market.
Let's get stuck in.
Yeah.
Slange it around.
Slange it.
I mean, that's classic Port Charlotte, isn't it?
Yeah, totally, aye. It's 63.5%, so you're straight in there. It's one of those ones that you've got to let linger in your mouth a little bit. You've got to let some of that alcohol evaporate. But when you do that, you're getting that retronasal effect. You're getting all those flavours coming up through the back of the nose. So classic Port Charlotte for me. The cask profile is rare for us, so we work with a sherry bodega in Jerez in Spain called Fernando de Castilla, and we exclusively access some of the most amazing sherry casks from them. We've also had brandy and all sorts in the past from them, but in this one we've used some PX, which we very rarely do. We don't often have a PX influence.
PPM wise, this one, is it one that's stated or?
Yeah, it's stated, so Port Charlotte 40 ppm. We've always been the same really for 40 ppm since the early days, and again, we didn't plan on it being 40 ppm back in 2001 when we made the first version of this, that was the barley we could get access to at the time. But that's now become the body of Port Charlotte, so we were really, really lucky that was the case. So yeah, works well.
Yeah, really, really stunning dram. We'll move on then, we'll turn things up a notch with the Octomore. For those who are completely new, what is the difference between Port Charlotte and Octomore?
Yeah,
both made in the same place.
Yeah, both made in the same place, exact same stills, production process is exact same from farm to dram effectively. The difference with Octomore is it's super heavily peated. So we say super heavily peated if it's above 80 parts per million. So Port Charlotte at the barley stage when it's smoked is 40 parts per million, and the Octomore is always a minimum of 80. Okay. Yeah, a bit more of that peaty hit. What we're trying to do with Octomore is really display the spectrum of flavour that you can get from a spectrum of peating levels between that low point of 80 and the high point of whatever we might be able to get to. So it's really about exploring how they work together, how the smoke works with the cask, and the young age. Octomore is generally quite young. This one will probably be slightly older, but again, the age of this is undisclosed. Yeah, the age is undisclosed in this as well because it's an Octomore Black Art. Yeah. So Octomore Black Art was born of a kind of idea from Adam to try something at actually a festival masterclass. And I think he didn't realise he was creating a monster when he did it because he came up with this dram. The 250 people in the room loved it. They went bananas for it. It became all the talk of the festival after it. And then this group of Germans the following year, which I think was 2016 or 2017, this group of Germans who'd been at the masterclass came wearing Octomore Black Art t-shirts. We want more. And actually, we were really agile as a business at the time, and we were like, fine, if they want it, we'll make it. So we released that first Octomore Black Art in 2017 or so. And it's been kind of out in the ether since then, and it's been super popular. Everyone loves it. There's not much of it. And the easy thing for us to do as a business would have been to go and make more of it the next year. But Adam's deliberately wanted to sit in this for another 8, 9, 10 years to see what ages he can play with and see how Octomore's working at those older ages. So this is a combination of ages, cast types and PPMs that we're just not going to disclose. And the whole point behind it is explore it for yourself and just find the best of Octomore, no matter what's behind it, which is pretty cool. So
it's a nice approach.
Yep.
Cheers.
Slange.
Yeah, I guess a smart way to do it by not, obviously Bruichladdich is famous for being transparent, but I think it's, the thing we were saying earlier about PPM, you can't quantify how good a whiskey is, so I feel just leaving it to people to explore it at their own pace, in their own comfort of their own home or at the distillery, wherever they're doing it.
You know, and you put the age and a big number in the front of the bottle, and it suddenly, and it's not a bad thing, it's not wrong, but it becomes about the age. So by allowing people to explore a whiskey that we are saying this is the best of Octomore that we've got in the warehouses, and we're pulling that together, it's just you're not tying yourself to your point of any particular element. You're just allowing it to speak for itself and allowing people to enjoy it from a zero baseline. So yeah, it's I
mean, some whiskey people are chumps as well. I feel like they like to demonstrate what they know. I remember being at a tasting once, and it was a teaspooned whiskey. So it was a cask of whatever with a teaspoon of something else. And this guy was trying to make out you could taste the teaspoon of whatever. I was like, get out. So I feel like putting all this detail on the label, people are just going to dissect that and be like, oh, I've used second fill PX or whatever, and that's
exactly
them holding back. So
and last year we did we released the Octomore Polyphonic, which we went into crazy detail about, and that's what it became about. So this is almost the antithesis to transparency, and it's the antithesis to the Polyphonic we did last year. It's now giving you this amazing liquid that we're just not going to tell you much about, and we're going to celebrate again a product from our past which people have loved, and that's, there's a few releases this year. There's been the old school release that came out a few months ago. It's all about celebrating the past and looking forward, but with an eye on things we've done before, and these two both kind of reflect that. So,
I think the Octomore is lovely, actually. I think it's probably the last year or two, my opinion of these two brands has changed a little bit, because for me, Octomore is always, that's the one that's like extreme and it's out of control and it's people just trying to push smoke to the max, and it's ridiculous. And the last few I've tried, there's a lot of elegance and there's a lot of subtlety to Octomore that perhaps I didn't pick up. Thanks so much for your time and for sharing these amazing drams.
Thanks.
All the best for
cheers. Thank you. All the best.
Next up, gents, we are off to Bruichladdich Distillery. They have two Fèis bottlings this year. They have a Port Charlotte and an Octomore. You've got little grins already. How are you feeling about these two? Are they brands here?
Love them.
Yeah.
Really excited. As soon as I seen that, I was like, oh my God. Because in the bar, the OBA is respected as the best Octomore ever produced.
Okay.
And it's a legend.
Aye.
It's a legend.
We love what they do up there, and such brilliant innovation and working with a hill of barley and different expressions. But there is something about the Octomores and the OBA that gets you really excited. I mean, it's just fantastic. Really looking forward to trying.
I feel like Bruichladdich as a company, as a brand, they've kind of seamlessly merged respecting the past and tradition and things like using local barley, but also made it feel like such a modern, contemporary, edgy brand, which is kind of difficult to do two things at once, I feel.
Definitely.
We'll start with the Port Charlotte. I think it makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely.
PPM wise.
Thank you, sir.
So for those who are completely new, obviously Port Charlotte is heavily peated. Octomore is, what do you call it? Like ultra peated. Super heavily peated.
Yeah.
So it makes sense to start this one. I'll be interested to hear your thoughts on the label. Obviously, I'm sure you both know
PC5.
Adam
Didn't see that.
fairly well.
Yes, certainly do. Yeah.
It's like kind of zombie look to him there, which he's a good-looking lad. Adam. I feel like that's not his best angle. So this is like a recreation.
And what's the word at the bottom there?
Redux.
Redux.
So this is like PC5. It's like a recreation of the 5-year-old Port Charlotte, which was the first Port Charlotte release they did that was fully under their control.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. And I think we went up to 12 of that range, didn't we?
Yes. In those tins.
In the tins.
That's right. Yeah.
That's funny. I had the PC5 out last night.
Yeah. So the label design, obviously Jim McEwan, legendary Jim McEwan, is on the label of that. So Adam's recreated Jim's pose. So it's very much like a nod to the past.
That's
of
good.
like,
That's good.
you know, there's a passing the baton.
Yeah,
type
absolutely.
absolutely.
Absolutely. That's
Yeah.
got an interesting nose. That's very medicinal. It's got,
It is, yeah.
It's got a very medicinal nose.
Very much so.
Yeah, this
funny-
one is bottled at 63.5%, so I think this is the biggest.
It's like
That's-
antiseptic, but there's like lemony, cracked pepper, real punch on
Right
the
in your
nose.
face. That's one you take before going to sleep, keep you warm.
Yeah. It's funny because I feel
What's
like
that nose on it?
Port Charlotte's got such a, for me, it's always like the whole like bonfires on the beach, kind of barbecue smoke.
Absolutely.
That's what I always think of. This is, as you say, it's kind of leaning more towards that medicinal.
That's good.
Oh,
But
yeah.
but it works.
Oh, it opens up at the end. Oh,
Toffee smoke and
but it's funny. It goes in really smooth, and then it just in lights.
Yeah.
It just comes together. That's really good. I mean, that's proper Port Charlotte. Like
that is.
that's
Yeah.
really.
It's
really
a
good.
great whiskey, and it is. It's a people love Port Charlotte. It's a great dram.
That's very medicinal. That's medicine. That's really good. That is really good.
It's a big finish still.
Oh, it's huge. It's huge. That is a really. I'm nice to see them.
Very interested to hear your thoughts when I tasted these with Bruichladdich yesterday. Obviously, Octomore, it's like strap yourselves in. It's Octomore.
Yeah.
But I actually feel like Port Charlotte's probably the more rugged.
It is. I totally
Of
agree
the
with you.
two, yeah.
I actually think Octomore is actually very well balanced, considering what it is.
Yeah.
Because what it says in the tin, you're expecting to be blown
Yeah,
away.
yeah.
And you're expecting to go, this, I might not even like this. But Port Charlotte, I feel you're right, has a more rugged kind of feel to it. It's not rough, it's just got that.
Yeah.
As you said,
It doesn't quite, you know, it doesn't beat you up, but it's
No,
like,
no.
you know you've had a Port Charlotte.
Yeah.
I'm really impressed
Proper
with that.
Islay single malt.
That is,
proper Islay dram.
absolutely.
Yeah. Cool. We'll move on then from that one to the Octomore. I'll give that to you, Peter. So this is, I mean, your eyes lit up as soon as we put
as
this
soon as-
bottle
as
on the
soon as you
table.
turned it, I seen OBA,
So this
I was like,
is,
oh.
so tell us about OBA.
Well, OBA, obviously the first Octomore OBA was Octomore and Black Art married together. So you're taking the real sweetness of Black Art and the heavy peat smoke of Octomore and just putting that together. And that's and it was called a concept bottle.
Yeah.
It was a smaller bottle as well.
But what I love about Octomore, it's an absolute, that whole thing is about the phenol level and the peat, but it's not just about peat. It just shows off what you can do with your spirit and then picking the right cask and managing it properly. It's got a big, like a lovely savoury. It's almost like, I know they like saying umami, but I sort of like mushroomy, this kind of really savoury thing.
really,
and then
really
that smoke just sort of builds and tingles away. Honestly, that's sensational.
It's a sensational dram. And it's just one that people love Octomore. I didn't think it would, you know something, I'll be honest, I never thought it would ever work. I seen, you know, like the alcohol content, the ppm, you know, the strength, you know, the whole thing about it. I just thought, and the price, you know, because they're not cheap bottles. You know, they're 5 years old, a lot of them. And it became, they've got a cult following.
Yeah.
They
Was
have a
it
cult
Adam Hannett says it's the impossible
Maybe,
equation
yes,
or something?
yes.
It's like, it's too young,
Yep,
it's too
yep,
strong, it's
yep.
too smoky,
Yep.
it shouldn't work.
It shouldn't work.
But you put it
does,
together and it's
it
like,
does.
actually this is...
It works. It works. And you know what's even funny? I see the stuff that is extremely peaty, like your 309, your 307.2. See that stuff? It's actually very complex and
It
easy
is.
to drink.
Yeah, it is.
And then you drink the stuff that's 118, you go, whoa, what happened there? You know?
It's just,
It's nuts.
It is. It works beautifully. That's a fantastic.
But yeah, two stunning drams, obviously
Oh, they are
Bruichladdich, a
stunning.
brand everybody seems to love.
Yep.
They do one of the best days as well of the Fèis, so
Yeah.
Oh, definitely.
A busy week ahead.
yeah.
Yep, definitely.
Cheers guys.
Cheers,
Flange,
Flange.
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 If you've enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe for more Bevvy content. We want to hear what you think, your best whiskey experiences, the whiskies you want us to try. It's a really exciting journey we're on, so make sure to join us. Download the Bevvy app on Google Play and App Store to keep track of your whiskey journey, connect with your whiskey friends, keep track of your favourites, anything you could ever want to do with whiskey, all in one place. It's the definitive whiskey companion.